Hey. Good morning. Good morning, millionaire dreamers. It is Saturday. So I hope you have some rest time plans, some self-care going on today. I know that's what I use my Saturdays for because my weeks be jam-packed. So we are back. We are back. I'm excited about the show, but when aren't I excited about the show? I love to talk and I love to hang out with girlfriends or whoever want to hang out with me. So this is the perfect platform for me. So good morning. Good morning. I want to take some time out to welcome everybody in. You know how it goes, right? I want you all to comment, say good morning, say what's up. If it's not a good morning, say, look, I'm trying. Okay. Just let's really be intentional about what it is that we're trying to do and say to people nowadays. So yes, if you really trying to get it in and you trying to turn this day around, that's all you gotta do is just say good morning or hey, I'm trying, sis, but I'm gonna try my best to make this the best morning that it can be. So yes. Look at that. Look at Consuela. Consuela, good morning. All the way from South Bend, Indiana. I love it. I love it. I love it. One thing I love about social media and this platform and broadcasting and is that you can touch people all over the world. And it's so exciting for me because I get a lot of people, write me back or emailing me or texting talking about hey, I'm from so and so, I'm from Africa, or I'm from here, I'm from Chicago, and that's cool. I love that because relationships, tangible relationships, are amazing. What else you got? Oh, thank you. I tried to, trying to educate, empower, and encourage today. So I wanted to match up my lipstick, trying something new, trying to get outside my little box. But thank you. Thank you for joining. If you are joining, share with a friend because one thing we need to start doing is sharing positivity because we got a lot going on already in this world with a whole bunch of negativity going on. So let's share some positivity because you're going to see two sisters today on this broadcast, chatting it up, having some fun, enjoying each other. And also you're going to learn something. Every time you come to this platform, you're going to learn something today. All right. So, as you know, this is the Go Live series that we have been doing, and it's called Living Life on Your Terms because I really feel like people are stuck in the mindset of what the world is telling you your life should look like. And what I am learning nowadays is that the world ain't really telling us the truth. We got to find that truth in ourselves, and make sure that we are living the life that we were birthed here to live. All right. So let me tell you about our how the Go Live is. So what it is living your millionaire dream life Go Live, right? So it's a training or a conversation. I just like to say a conversation with seasoned professionals that provide phenomenal advice on how to live your best life. And whenever you hear living your best life, it shouldn't trigger you to live in if you rich or if you got a yacht or if you got, now if those are the things that you are aiming for, go get it. But I'm saying that shouldn't be if your life should be how you want it, what your finances should be, that you're just not struggling. Okay. So that's really what this group is what we try to do, is what we try to motivate and encourage each other, to support each other, to build your tribe. All right. So if you don't know, hopefully today, that since you're joining now, I am T and Stacia White. I'm a life coach and the founder of the Living Your Millionaire Dream Life Facebook group and professional development group. And as I say every day, today is the day to begin, honey. Okay, today is the day to begin. And I dare you to dream bigger. When I decided that I was going to dream bigger, way bigger than my thoughts, my own thoughts could even reach or go, my world started changing. And that's what I want for other people. So what I am about, what my basis of life is when I wake up in the morning. Okay, you gotta know why you waking up. Okay, so I know when I wake up in the morning in the AM, and y'all know I get up early. I wake up for this particular reason. So it's Second Timothy 1:9, and it says, who have saved us and called us with a holy calling, not according to our works. And I think that's why we get twisted. We allow the world to tell us everything. Now, when you living on your terms, it's not according to your works, but according to his own purpose and grace. So when you start living in your purpose, baby, honey, I can't even explain it. It's a feeling that you just got to go get it for yourself, which was given us in Christ Jesus before the world began. So when I ask people, why are you here? You got to know why you're here, because everybody before we was even born, before the world began, you were created to do something phenomenal anyway. You ain't got to wait on permission. Okay. So y'all done heard enough of me. Y'all don't come. Y'all know that's my I love you like I do, you know what I'm saying, kind of spiel, because I really want you guys to just get up, get out, and get something. All right, go enjoy life. Go enjoy, go live, go get every single thing that is owed to you, because you simply deserve it. All right. Let's go to our guest. Yes. Oh, I'm going to bring in our guest for the day. So please help me welcome. Please join the conversation. There's nothing more than I love best when some people got some things they want to say, they got questions they want to ask, and they put this information in the chat. All right. So make sure that you are getting everything you need out of this conversation, and don't be scared, as they say in St. Louis. All right. Well, here, without further ado, my guest speaker today is Tiara Armin, and she has an amazing background. So I'm going to let her tell you about her. All right. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good to see everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And sis, thank you for having me here on your platform. I am Tiara Armin, and I'm kind of a wealth of everything around here. I am a wife and a mom first. I love my family dearly. And then I am an educator, and I am an author, an international speaker, a podcast host, and a purpose coach is what I do. I am the founder and owner of Tiara Speaks, where I do empowerment speaking, I do purpose coaching, and of course, I have my podcast, Tiara Speaks, where we are the foundation of growth. So I am that person that loves to delve into our challenges and our struggles that we go through to get to our purpose, to get to our celebrations, and to get to our outcomes. I think it's important that we highlight those things so that everybody understands nothing is really handed to you. There are a few people out here that it is, but the bulk of us, we go through the trenches to get to where we are and to get to our passion and our purpose and to do the things that we love to do in life. There's a journey that you have to take to get there, and it's okay. It's not always glitz and glamour. So we have to let everybody know that you're going to fall sometimes. You're going to make mistakes sometimes. You're not going to get to where you want to go sometimes. But guess what? The lessons that you learn in those trials and those tribulations are your motivation to push forward and what's going to take you to get to where you are. Outside of that, I am the founder of Daring Inspired Youth, where we provide character development workshops and classes for youth ages 6 to 18. We also provide mentorship, college and career readiness programs, and we partner with other organizations where we're able to offer financial literacy, kid entrepreneurial classes, and cooking classes. That's me.
Phenomenal. Okay, so if you at home and you can't figure out what it is you should be doing out there in them streets, you might talk to Tiara. Okay,
contact me. Yes,
nobody should just be, because right now where we are in the world with everything going on, our youth need us, women need us, teen moms need us. It is a place in a space for all of us. And one thing I enjoy with me, I'm so glad that the Lord, when he put his clay together and made me, I'm glad that he put this spirit of, I'm going to embrace my sister, and it's not a competition thing. It's
Absolutely.
a we gonna
Oh,
go together kind of thing. And I
that's
really want
and
that
that's what it should be.
energy to move and be a part of our culture and just move and flow the way that it's supposed to flow, because I can't do nothing without you, Tierra.
No,
We
no, absolutely. We got to do it together.
Yes, I
Yes.
need us to understand that. And when we as a group and as a culture wrap our minds around that, we gonna be bad. Like you ain't gonna be able to stop our glow, our flow, whatever it is you want to
Not
say.
at all.
So I just want people to see that. I just want people to see, just because it's a sis out there and y'all got a lot in common. I tell people this analogy all the time. It is 101 billion Mary Kay agents out there. I'm serial
Yes, it is.
consultants out there. I might not like Pam because Pam's personality don't rock with me the way that Sally do. Sally,
Yes,
she know how to put the stuff on my face. She know how to, and it's okay.
yes, it is.
And that's what we got to understand. It is cool. It is okay, because everybody is not going to like the way I flow. And I'm cool with that. I really am. At the bottom of my heart, I'm cool with that. But if you need some support and you like the way that Tierra flows, then go get yours. Okay.
Come
All
on now.
right.
Come
So let's
on.
talk business. So let's talk. I know you have so many. This is free talk. You can talk to us about whichever one or two or whatever you want to talk to us about.
Girl.
I think it's important that we know, because when people see you as an educator, they feel like that's the only lane you in.
Yeah.
Don't you know
And
you
it's
demanded?
don't put me in a box, because I'm here to tell y'all I don't do boxes. I kick them down. I knock them. I don't. I bust out of them. I don't do boxes. I used to. And let's be transparent for a second. I used to do boxes. I used to stay in my little box and just kind of halfway give you who I was. I've always been who I am, but it's one thing when you really have to start sharing others and be who you are 100% of the time, instead of trying to be what others want you to be. Step out that box. Please step out that box, bust out of it, and just be you, which has been what I've actually been doing and going through for the last, this will be 4 years that I've been an entrepreneur. Come June, it'll be 4 years in June. And I started off doing social and corporate event planning, and it's a hobby for me, but it wasn't my purpose. But what it was a lesson and and the trial that I needed to get to my purpose and to get to what I'm supposed to be doing. So let's talk business. I own and operate, as I said before, Tierra Speaks, where I am an empowerment speaker. And what that means is I love to create innovative methods of empowerment and workshops to guide you to increase your self-confidence, to believe in yourselves and follow your dreams. And we have to start at facing our fears. We all have fears, and a lot of times our fears is what stops us from moving forward, what stops us from following our dreams. But sometimes we have so many things that we fear, we don't know where to start. So what I tell a lot of the people that I come across, the people that I mentor, or just people that are in my network, and myself and sis over here have talked about this. Take out a piece of paper and brain dump. Brain dumping is my favorite thing. Dump it all down. If you're trying to figure out what truly is stopping you from doing the things that you want to do, take out a piece of paper and just brain dump everything that you fear.
Yeah.
And once you've done that, categorize them together and group them. Then once you have them in groups, you can start putting them in steps, so you can accomplish those steps, so you can work through those situations, so you can go ahead and step out here and step out on faith. I have a platform, Tierra Speaks Podcast. We are, listen, it is such a blessing to have this podcast. I never even wanted to have a podcast, y'all, but I'm sitting here telling y'all I am in season 2. It is amazing. I appreciate and love all of our followers, all of our listeners, the entire T Speaks family. But we are the foundation of growth. As I said before, we talk about those challenges and those struggles that you go through to get to your purpose, to get to your celebrations and the outcomes. We are very transparent. We delve into those tribulations, and it's not always easy. And sometimes you come on a show, and whether it's myself or a guest, and we think that we're not going to talk about certain things. But guess what? God has a different plan. So when you're put on that platform and you start speaking, you don't even realize that you started talking about that very situation that you said I'm not ready to talk about. Well, God poured it on out of you so that you can share it with the audience, so that they can see, guess what? I'm not the only one that's going through something. I'm not the only one that's getting stuck and stopped and having these trials and these tribulations. I'm not the only one that's doing it, but am I just going to let it stop me and sit still? Or am I going to break through that trial, break through that tribulation, and step out on the other side? It's your choice. But I know it's better to know that others are doing it, so you don't feel like you're alone. And so you know you can do it too. We all can. It's important. Actually, it has been exactly a year since my very first book came out. I am here to tell you guys, I didn't want to be an author. I didn't want to be a speaker. I didn't know nothing about being a podcast host. But God had other plans for me. And when I tell you, I participated in this book project, and I tried to push it and push it and push it, y'all. And you hear me a lot. If you've heard me speak before, you hear me a lot speak about my mentors and my business coach, Tina Adams Turnipseed and JPCEO, for just guiding me and pushing me to my purpose and my potential and not allowing me to just let it go. My business partner and best friend, Brittany Coates, I've pushed and pushed and pushed. And when I tell you this book project came along, and I was like, I'm not writing a book. Why y'all keep telling me that? And I inquired on it. I was at a meeting with my mentor, and when I got the email, and I'm like, this lady is wanting me to be a part of this book project, but I don't know why all y'all think I'm writing this project. And it's crazy because those of you that have written books know that your publishing fee can be $1,000 or more. It can be very expensive. Well, at the time that this project came about, I was in a meeting with my mentor, and she was like, well, just see what she's talking about. So, okay, I asked her about the project. What was it going to be about? And, my thing was, so what is the publishing fee? Because in my mind, I don't want to write a book anyway. So I know it's going to be too much for my pockets.
Okay.
And she emailed me back and said the publishing fee was $100.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me say that again. The publishing fee was $100. I thought it was a joke, and I emailed her back and asked her, did she leave a zero?
Leave a zero out.
Right. I'm like, girl, this is zero left off of this. And she was like, no, it's not. It'll be you and 9 other women coming together for this compilation. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm talking to my mentor, and I'm like, oh, guess what? I don't have it anyway. So I'm just going to tell her, thanks for thinking of me. I appreciate it. I was blessed with the publishing fee. And at that point, it's like, okay, this lady that doesn't even know me, but has watched my presence on social media and is following me and everything that I'm doing, and thought that I would be an asset to her project. And then I have my mentors and my friends and my family that's been telling me this and pouring this into me for years. If all of these people are going to take a chance on me, at what point am I going to take a chance on myself? So I am here to tell you, I decided to take a chance on myself, but it wasn't easy. I accepted it. I became a part of that book project. Y'all, I had 2.5 months to write one chapter. And when it was due, it wasn't done. I had to ask for an extension because I would try to write and I just couldn't, and I couldn't understand. And I'm talking to my mentor like, why can't I get all this out of my head? I know what I'm trying to write about. So she said, well, let me see your outline. What outline? Who wrote an outline?
Girl, stop.
What you mean? And she was like, when you go write a paper in school, you have outline, right? I'm like, yeah. She said, so where's your outline? Sierra, still a story. I said, you know what you write. So then I wrote the outline, and then, y'all, I was able to start writing. But now I'm writing about my testimony, and I'm being transparent. And now I'm having emotional breakdowns because I'm dealing with things I haven't dealt with in years. So now I'm putting myself through therapy, right? So now I'm writing and I'm stopping because I can't continue to go so long. Then I'm writing and I'm stopping. And then I get to December 15th. And guess what? Sierra's not done. So I had to ask for an extension, and I was granted that extension. And I'm here to tell you, if you're working on something and you know it's not going to be done in the time, it don't hurt to ask. The only thing they can do is tell you no.
That's
I
right.
was granted that extension, and I sat at the table from 2 to 7 and completed my chapter. And when I tell you guys, a year later, it's one of the best things I've ever done. I cannot see myself not being an author. I am working on my second book. From that book myself, out of from me and my platform and my network and my supporters, I've sold almost 300 books. I became an international speaker from that book. I created a virtual book signing series from that book. I now have the Tiara Speaks podcast. So it has definitely been a blessing and just exciting for me. On top of that, I love to pour into the youth. I've been working with youth since I was 15. So when you tell me I'm going to be a speaker and I'm a motivational speaker, and I'm looking at you like, I'm not doing it, but not realizing I've been doing it since I was 15.
Yes.
I've been doing it for so long. I've been pouring into the youth. I've been speaking to youth. I've been coaching youth. I've been coaching my friends. And, it's funny because my husband would always say, so how much are you charging an hour? Like, what do you mean? You need to start charging an hour. We gonna turn this into a business. And I would laugh and joke about it. But guess what? It's become a business. I am now a purpose coach. And I say purpose coach, and a lot of people are like, well, what is a purpose coach? It's still a life coach. I am a certified life coach, but I do purpose coaching because I believe that it's important to help coach you to your purpose. One, we don't always know what our purpose is.
Mm-hmm.
2, or we are being told it's being poured into us, but we're not ready to accept it, or we don't realize that is really what our purpose is.
That's right.
And sometimes we go through the things that we like to do and some of the things that we're a little bit passionate about, but that's not our purpose. And in order to get to that, you have to go through the things that you've been doing. You have to figure out what it is that's really important to you and what is God saying to you. You have to be able to knock everything out and recognize those signs that he's giving you, those people that he's putting in your life to help pull that purpose out of you. And I am the one to help you do that. I needed that. I'm here to tell you, but God put the perfect people in place with me, in my path, in my network, in my circle to help pull that out of me. So not only do I pour into other adults, I pour into our youth with my youth organization, Daring Inspired Youth. Like I said, we do character development. So we do social, emotional, life skill learning, mentorship. We have a college and career readiness program because I think it's important. We don't have the same classes and programs that were around when we were younger. So we need those extra counselors, extra mentors, college and career readiness people to help our youth and their parents be prepared and get them prepared for college and help them delve through and figure out, is college right for me, or do I need to go right into the workforce? And if I'm going into the workforce, I need to be prepared to interview. I need to be prepared to know what it is that I'm supposed to wear. What am I supposed to look like? Because perception is everything. How am I supposed to interview? So we provide those classes and those workshops, and we go through mock interviews to help our youth because they are our future and we have to inspire them.
Yeah. I look, now this is a lot, but it's all for your purpose. And that's
absolutely
what, like, the thing is, I'm gonna go back to where we started. How we started this particular segment is the box.
Yeah.
When you decide to come out of that box, I tell people this is my slogan about boxes. So if you don't know me, I've never wanted to be in a box. I had no idea that people were trying to put me in a box because I was always a free spirit. So I came up with a slogan that says, I have too much God-given personality.
Come on now.
Trying to put me in a box.
Come on now.
It's natural. Like it's natural for me to just want to use all my gifts and talents that he gave me.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what you're doing. You're using every ounce of you in this life, because as we know, 2020 showed us this life is not guaranteed. Okay. So while you're here, we need to be pouring life into somebody else and getting them, because they're the key to somebody else. They're the key. If we have a team around us and that team is motivating us, then that next they need a team too. And if you holding up and you over there too afraid or scared, or somebody been talking in your ear, because a lot of times that's the problem too. We got people talking in your ear, and you have believed what has been said to you. So I love that you are incorporating, and it's all on purpose. So it's not like years ago when I first started in the business, people was like, well, you doing all this, like you doing too much. But one thing I know that God always told me about balance. And so you balance what you're doing, and it's all on purpose, and you know what you're doing, then it's not a circus act. It's this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So if God bless me to sing on some occasions, I'm gonna sing, baby. I'm gonna do what I do. So I love, and I could congratulate that you are using every single platform that you have to live in your purpose.
Absolutely. And you know what? One of my biggest things, and like we all have slogans, right? So when you live your life on your own terms, you have your own mantra, is what we call it, or the thing that you live by, right? So my biggest three things, and you'll hear me talk about it and you'll see it a lot on my platforms and everything that I do. But my biggest three things are dare, live, and be. So dare to be different. And what I mean by that is step out on faith and take a chance on yourself, and be okay with creating your own lane. As we spoke about before, a lot of times, a lot of us are in the same area. We're working in the same area, but the difference is we do things differently. For instance, myself and T, we are both coaches. We both do life coaching, but we have our own lane. But guess what? We're able to come together and collaborate together and help everyone, and it broadened the amount of people and the platforms that we're able to help. Also, live to inspire. As we talked about before, T, bring somebody else with you. What legacy are you leaving? It's okay to grab somebody else by the hand. And it's funny because we talked about this on an interview that I did yesterday. It's okay to help somebody else out. So I might have been up at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, because guess what? I was trying to figure out how to get my LLC. I was trying to figure out the operation declaration. I was trying to figure out logos and programs and terms and policies and procedures. But just because I was up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, don't mean that the next person has to be, let me help you. You say you need help with what? Oh, well, guess what? Let me show you how I figured it out. Let me show you how I did it. Let me cut your time in half. It's okay. And like we said before, that's what we need to do. It needs to be more of us coming together and collaborating and helping each other. Because guess what? We're all here. We're all put on earth to help each other and to move forward and work together. And as soon as we start doing that, we can reach more. And we can continue to grow as a whole together. And the third thing, be who you are authentically, 100% unapologetically.
Speaking my language now.
Everybody is not going to like you. Everybody is not going to understand your purpose on earth. Everybody is not going to understand or like what you're doing. But guess what? It's not for them. If it was for them, God would have gave it to them. God gave it to you. He put that purpose on you in your life, and you live it. No matter what anybody else feels or how anybody else, whatever anybody wants to say, it's okay. Do you unapologetically. And be okay with who you are, because God made you perfect for you and for him, and that's all that matters.
That is it. Okay, so I'm loving what you're saying, because it just ties in. This has been an easy interview, because the next thing I'm saying is, when I decided to do a podcast, right? My mom, I do these interviews, and this all came because we were stuck at home for my birthday, and usually for the whole month, my husband and I, we travel. So we were stuck at home, and I was like, well, what can I do for fun? And so I started doing this, just interviewing people. And I was like, this is cool. Like, I started meeting all kind of folks. And I said, this is great. So then when I did it, my mom said, you're really good at this. And my daughter, if you have daughters, I don't know, but they're not always nice. Well, their mother.
Now, you know, teenagers, daughters, we get a little attitude sometimes. You know, we've been there.
So when they said it, I was like, okay, it must be some truth in this because they don't come out their way, you know.
Right.
And so I said, okay, I'm going to do a podcast because I think, you know, the world needs to. And I'm sick of real fake because I too work with kids. And that's exactly what the podcast that I wanted to do is just being authentically telling your real transformation story, telling your real transparent story, because we ain't got time for all this fake stuff that's coming out, because what it is happening, because you work with kids too, is ruining our babies.
It
is. Don't know what's real. They don't know what's fake. They don't know what a relationship should even look like.
At all. No.
With just no kind of relationships, you know what I'm saying? And so I said, you know what, we gotta take our authority back. You know, we gotta take our power back and step off this superwoman journey. We got to step down from that. We're gonna get that superwoman back. We're gonna get that cape on back. And we're going to start living in every emotional feelings that we have and walk through that, so people can say, because I realized that a lot of people didn't think I was human, girl.
Yeah.
Thought I didn't have a care in the world, didn't think that I would be struggling, didn't think I'd have nothing. And I was like, are you crazy?
That's because they so used to these facades, right? Yeah, they so used to these facades. People put on these facades like everything is perfect, like you don't make mistakes, like you don't fail, like you don't struggle. Listen, we all make mistakes.
Yes.
Ain't none of us perfect. We all struggling. We are all going through a pandemic right now, and we all are struggling at some point. It's something that you have going on. We are all struggling. It's emotional.
Yes.
It's social struggle. It's life struggle. It's whatever it is. It's all the way down to your household, like you said, our children, our businesses, our lives, just who we are, and having to pivot. Like most of us have never even lived through a pandemic, right?
Yes.
So we have to be okay with pivoting, but we have to be open and honest, not only with everybody else. You got to be open and honest with yourselves and be truthful to yourself, because you can't be open and honest with anybody else or pour into anybody else if you can't be honest with yourself.
That's right.
We have to.
That's right. And that's it. And I think that was the thing that 2020 taught me that I needed to start in my coaching business, helping people with, is the transitioning piece. Because don't nobody like that. That's hard. I don't ever want to transition again, because when I went through a transition years ago, I hated it. It sucks. It's not where you want to do. But when you learn how to set your life up that you're pivoting,
come on now.
Honey, I'm not saying pivots are super easy, but it's way better than a transition. Okay, so that's what I'm getting people, just to change your mindset that you know.
Absolutely. And that's so important.
Always have to be that way. So my next question is, what did you do to get to this point? Because we all know, as women, we didn't just grow up with all this power, honey. We didn't grow up with all this fierce, honey. We didn't. So how did you get to the point, the person that's Tierra Speaks person you are right now?
I failed. I failed many times. You know, I failed. I made mistakes. I cried. I talked. I hid. I suppressed the things that I dealt with. I am now in the process, like I said, of writing my second book and writing my story, but going back and thinking about things that I went through all the way back into elementary school. I was in the middle of first grade and got sent out, and I was in a DSEG program. So I got sent out to the county, primarily white children, where I went from a predominantly Black elementary school to a predominantly white elementary school, the middle of first grade. So I was six, I think. I was 6 years old. So I went from a school where everybody looked like me to one that didn't. And just going back and I've realized that throughout my life, I've never, up until recently, a few years ago, I've never really felt 100% welcome. And it's not really necessarily anything that anybody specifically did, but when your environments change and certain things start happening that you're not used to, and you're used to getting along with everybody and going to somewhere where you don't know anybody, it's hard to get along with people, it's hard to get to know them. Your mindset changes.
Yes.
It's emotionally and mentally the wear and tear that it takes on your mind, and then you're trying to grow too as a young girl and young guy. You're trying to grow into whoever it is that you're supposed to be. But that I realized that started my trials, that started my tribulations. So as I continued to get older and going through things and I learned the lessons, when you're a kid and you're a teenager, we get attitudes, we go through things.
Yes.
And when we fail and we make mistakes, we still think we did everything we were supposed to do. We think we didn't fail, we didn't make a mistake, we shouldn't be in trouble. But the reality of it is, let's go back and look at those times that you got in trouble. Let's go back and look at those mistakes that you made. Now look at who you are today. What lessons did you learn from that? Because at some point you have to realize the lesson so that you can take that lesson and use it to motivate you. So what have I done to get to this point? I've failed. I've made mistakes. I've reached out and asked for help. I think one of the biggest things that we don't do, we should, is ask for help. My big sister, business coach, JPCEO, she always tells you whatever it is that you need, just ask me. What's the worst I can do is say no. So I say that to everybody, whatever it is that you need, whatever it is that you're wanting to do, whatever it is that you're going through, whether it's needing help, just needing somebody to listen, because sometimes you just need to vent and you just need somebody to listen. I may not need your advice or anything like that. I just may need to get all of this off of my chest, and I just need you to listen and hear me. So reach out and ask. I journaled. I speak that into my teams now. Like, I journaled. I would get a notebook, and sometimes you just can't go to the store and get a journal. Get you a little 25-cent notebook, a piece of paper, a pad, and even Post-it notes if you have to, and write down the things that you're feeling and what you're going through. Because sometimes you're scared and you don't know how to go and tell somebody or how to talk to somebody about what's going on with you. So sometimes you have to write it down, and either just write it down to get it out your head and your mind, or write it down to pass that note to somebody else. And I've trained. I love going to trainings and I love going to workshops. Again, JP will tell you, I go to every single workshop she has. If I can make it, I'll be there. Network. Be okay with learning from others. I have Mrs. Keisha Kent, networking is your superpower. I am a people person. I love to be around people. But when I tell you the conversations that I've had with that woman, her book, Networking is Your Superpower, her podcast, Networking is Your Superpower, has helped me increase and grow in that area. Precious Simone Inspires. She's an inner strength coach. When I tell you she'll pull that inner strength out of you and you don't even know what's happening. A week ago today actually was our annual Vision of Growth, our annual vision board party, and Precious speaker. And when I tell y'all she got to speaking, and before she spoke, Brittany and I was telling everybody, all of our guests, be sure to grab your tissue and your Kleenex, because you're going to need it, because she's going to make you cry. Y'all, I was behind the scenes while she was talking to the audience, and I was the one back there boohoo crying. Be okay with being transparent. Be okay with being who you are. All of those things is what got me to today. And be coachable. Brittany and I were talking about this the other day. Be coachable. Be okay. And be okay to receive that criticism, because I'm here to tell you, it's not all glitz and glamour. It is not. But the ones that you don't want to hear, that criticism that you really don't want to hear, you don't want to believe, that's what you need to hear, because that's what's going to grow you.
Yes.
Those are the things that I've done, and I continue to grow. I continue to work, and I'm all in. You have to be 100% into who you are and what you want to do to get to the point that you need to be.
Trying to get to.
I
totally agree. When you say be coachable, that is real. And if you haven't heard all these good nuggets, be coachable, because I have been just from experience as being a coach. I coach youth, basketball.
Yeah.
Girls. And I will tell my husband all the time that, I have young ladies, and I let the young ladies know, if I can't coach you, there's really no reason for you to
Mm-mm.
be here. Because if
Not at all.
you came in here and you stated, because I have them all fill out, I give them a game book and I tell them to all fill out, do you just want to play basketball, like play the little sport and, just run around and play? Or do you want to master it? Because I
Yeah.
need to know who I'm dealing with. Even as young as they are, I want to know where we should begin.
Right.
So
So I know.
telling me that you want to master something, because that's what we're talking about right now, right? Mastering whatever it is that you're trying to do. Then I
Absolutely.
need you to be coachable. I need you to trust me to tell you what it is that you need to do. And if time after time you're not coachable, I'm not wasting my time on you anymore. And I know that these are little kids. I'm going to continue to say it, but I won't be giving you one-on-one attention like I would if I knew that you really, really, really wanted to do what you said. And I know we have to teach we have to teach our kids this. We got to teach grown-up this. This is what
we do.
We're saying, be coachable. All
Yes.
right. Let me drop in because I got some guests. I just want to say good morning. Good morning, Teresa.
Good morning.
They are loving this segment, honey. Elizabeth, who joins me, and I just love it, love it, love it. Elizabeth is from Africa. She comes on, and it's
Come on, Elizabeth.
over there. I don't know what time it is, but it's a whole nother time zone.
Nice.
My good friend Angela is coming in and just saying, speak it. They love it.
Hey, Angela.
We have to, and you guys also, if it's a question on here that you want to answer, if it's something, how did you get to the point that you're at? Because maybe you're speaking to somebody else that can do it our way. We've been doing this a while, and maybe, look at here, Consuela. Hey, Consuela.
Hey.
So, we got, a lot of people joining. I just want to shout out, because y'all could be doing anything on y'all Saturday and listening to what it is that we have to say is important. But I want you guys to push yourself and go further. Yeah. Figure out when Tierra Speaks comes on the podcast and listen to the podcast, and we'll put information. We're going to drop everything on there, so you can reach out and get to it. And, make sure you are building your team. I know for me, that's what the Live Your Millionaire Dream Life group is all about, is building your tribe, getting outside of yourself and finding people that you can surround yourself with that's going to push you like you ain't never been pushed before. So if you have folks that's always yak, you don't want to grow. You don't want to go nowhere. You don't want to do nothing. And I have to be real, because that's where you are. And I want people to understand that if you want somebody to make you uncomfortable, if you want to be in uncomfortable places, then you in the right place.
And you know what? Appreciate your team. Appreciate your team. I always get asked, why do I always thank my people? Why do I always put there always in my interviews? Listen, let me tell you something. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for my team.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And I want to go back a little bit when we talked about what all did I do to get here. I have a team around me that was placed around me by God. Okay. And I thank and I appreciate that team. So when you ask me how I got there, I have a JP CEO, business solutions, marketing guru, you name it. She the GOAT, she do it. Check her out. You looking for somebody to help and you really want to do this? Hit her up. You can find her on Facebook and everything. JP CEO. I have a Tina Adams Turnipseed mentor. As we talked about, be coachable and be okay, because all mentors aren't good, but all of them are there for a season and a reason. Find you a mentor that's for you. Okay. Find you one that works for you, that's going to push you and that believes in your vision and your purpose. If not as good as you, a little bit more than you do, because you're going to need somebody to pull you out that shell to get to the point that you need to be at. Find you a TC Graphics. I got a photographer, branding, videographer, graphic, you name it, he do it. Get you a business partner or a business bestie, Brittany Coates. She is a private chef and caterer. We co-founded Vision of Growth, our nonprofit. Get you people that's going to believe in you, pour into you, help you with your growth, but will also accept the help from you as well. Because you have to pour into each other. It's a two-way street. Get you a tea and Satia, because listen, I'm here to tell y'all, me and sis right here met on Facebook. But this is my sister, and we check in with each other. We coach each other. We collaborate with each other. Like you have those people, and there are so many more, and I love you all. But get you
You
a
do.
circle, get you people that are going to be positive, that are going to uplift and motivate you, that are going to understand when sometimes that crown falls and it's okay, but guess what, when it falls, they're gonna help you pick that crown back up.
Yes. Yes. So and that's you have to. Now I am going to say the JP CEO.
Yes.
Now, this my STL crew right here. You ain't playing.
And
So
she ain't playing. She get ready to do the work too, because she ain't gonna play. Believe it.
Yeah. So yeah, you might want to check into that. I have Consuela. Consuela, what you saying? I feel like I'm always in a state of uncomfortable.
Girl, that's the growth.
Yes, because you got places to go.
You're not uncomfortable. You're not growing.
Yes.
Okay, Consuela, it is okay. I'm here to tell you, baby, I am comfortable daily.
Yes.
Now I'm sorry, I am uncomfortable daily and hourly. And when I tell you, when you are uncomfortable, that's when your best work comes out of it. That's your best growth. You are supposed to be uncomfortable. If you're uncomfortable, you know that you're doing it right. You know that you're doing the right thing, because you're about to grow and something is about to come. You're about to be in your season. And I'm here to tell you, get ready. Because once it comes, it ain't gonna stop.
You have no idea the projects, the big things, all the greatness that this young lady is doing. And so you saying what you saying, you don't know her. She all the way on a whole nother state, city.
I don't.
You don't know
but
her.
Guess what?
But every single
I'm gonna get to know her.
Is exactly what she is facing right now. Because it's this woman of power. I gotta have her on because she look. I gotta have her on so she can talk about the power that she has. That she's about to knock down she finna change some things in a community.
Yes,
big. I don't know if y'all been in y'all communities.
Yes,
but that's big when you can say that you're changing a community. Hello.
Absolutely.
So so she really does have a lot going on. So this is our freestyle. So I like freestyle because normally, but we've already shared a lot. But I do freestyle because a lot of my guests are women, and a lot of my women stick on focus. Like they're like, this is what I do. I'm a business, this and that and that. But they never talk about them. Like, who is you? Because on Saturday, I'm not the same girl I am on Monday when I'm at the school with these kids.
Right. You're right.
I'm a totally different person. So I like freestyle because you can bring up anything that you want. And it doesn't even have to be about you. It could be about a project that you might be doing. So this is just an open forum for you to talk about whatever it is you want the audience to know.
When I'm not in business mode, I'm a family person. I love to spend time with my husband and my son. I just love different things. We love to play games, watch movies, go out and do stuff in the park. It's winter time, so you can't do everything right now. And we in a pandemic, so we've been having a pivot, but I like creating different things. And sometimes I'm up working, y'all, and my husband and my 4-year-old are helping me with whatever it is.
That's awesome.
That I'm doing. I love to read. So reading has been my solace during this pandemic. I had gotten away from it, but y'all, I'm a person that'll pick up a book right now. I'm gonna read it from cover to cover in 2.5 hours, and then be looking for the next one, especially if it's a series. So I must say, reading, I love to read. Some of my favorite authors: Ashley, Antoinette, Jaquavius Coleman, Keisha Irvin. She's a wonderful author. I'm loving her books as well. Just some people to check out. Some other books and growth books to check out. As I said earlier, Keisha Kent, Networking is Your Superpower. Precious Simone has her new book, Evolve, out right now. I'm writing more. That's a big thing. And the other thing is, y'all, I'm a momager now. Okay, so I love to have my time, and before I jump into the momager, I love to have my time. Go get my hair done when I can. I like to go get my nails done. Take a little self-care. I'm doing more of self-care because a lot of times I get so busy I forget about me, which we all do. So I'm doing more of taking a few minutes here to myself, taking a few minutes here and there. And I want you guys to understand, sometimes that few minutes may only be 5 minutes, but that 5 minutes is going to save you 6, 7, 8 hours down the line. And sometimes you take a day or half a day or whatever it is, but be sure to carve out a little bit of time for yourself. The other thing is, I am a momager. My 4-year-old is a CEO, y'all. He has his brand new business, K2 Enterprises, where he is a photographer. He has a custom clothing line coming out that we're working on, Big Boy Status. He just did pre-orders for his teaser shirt, as he calls it. And he's also an author, so we're working on the illustrations for his books that'll be coming out soon. That's just, those are the things. And I'm sure you just heard him screaming mommy in the background. He's in another room, probably watching something on TV and wants help with changing the channel, although he probably changed it already. He just want to show it to me. But that's it. Just family. My family. And I can't travel right now, but listen, in 2021, I'm here to tell y'all, we are living. We are traveling and taking all the precautions that we need to. And unless they tell us that we can't. Okay? There.
Yes. And it's funny because you say all this. So we've been, chatting for a minute and you go, and that's about it. I love it. And earlier we were talking and she was like, if my 4-year-old come in, I said, one thing about me, baby, is I love it. If he come in, you put him right on. Come on. This is real. I love realness, and that's real. And I wasn't that far along. I had little kids when I was trying to start. And back then, it wasn't it was taboo to have your kids in the camera or whatever you were doing. But I wish I would have been stronger, more knowledgeable, because they should have been right there where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Right there on my lap, listening, and finding out the things. So now, honey, if he might want to talk about what he doing, honey. He got his own business.
Listen, he might. I wouldn't be surprised if he come running in here.
So, this is the time that our interview comes to an end. But if there's anything, like I said, if there's anything that you have going on, we'll make sure that we put it in the chat, and you can always put it in there, your links to anything, your podcast, how to get a book, how to get Tierra to speak at whatever event that somebody has doing. So we'll be sure, and if you feel free to put it on in there too, so you know more of what you're doing than I do. But I do want to stop and tell everybody this is the things that are coming up for the Dreams LLC. And go and join the Facebook group. Go join the Facebook group and be a member of it. Be a participant of the group, because that's how you're going to meet your tribe, meeting just real people. Everybody that I have interviewed that you've been seeing, that y'all been falling in love with, they come to the group. They're group, so you just get in there, get to diving in, and get to being a presence in there, because you will find everything you need. Also subscribe to the YouTube channel, because we'll be doing the podcast. And the podcast, I'm so excited about the podcast. Because this is, like I said, a new venture for me, but it's the Real Show with Coach T and Stacia White. So it's the real, and all it is just real talk with real people about real issues. And we ain't gonna be faking the funk. We gonna be talking about some real stuff. Because I ain't been married and with my husband 28 years because it's roses. I can't believe people really think that. But just letting them know earlier years maybe was like to what the later years, because you learn, you grow, you move, you do a little thing. That's how you're able to stay
Mhm.
in relationships, and how you what it is that you have to do in your relationship and get everybody else out your stuff.
Come on now.
So that's pretty much what the podcast is about, and I'm excited. So I am looking for people to be a part of it. And these, some of our topics are, we're going to be talking about finances. So I know Constance will come in and roll in on that. We're going to talk about college and education, because that's important. How to maneuver that, because that the 2020, that game right there with college has
Yes.
changed. And we
Yes, it has.
you know,
100%.
up on how things is rolling now,
Yeah.
the fashion world, mental health. I'm a big advocate for mental health, because my grandmother suffered from mental health, and so I have always put self-care first, because I knew that thing right there was hereditary, and I knew that there were places and things I had to set my life up so that I wouldn't be going down that path. And physical fitness and womanhood, sisterhood, livelihood, talking about, I'm on a chat with some girls on that. We're gonna have us a chat on that one.
Good chat.
About divorce, because I think a lot of people frown upon divorce. Sometimes you got to let it go. All right. So let's talk about what's really going on in our lives, what's really happening, so that we can teach, preach, and what my shirt said, we can educate, empower, and encourage, honey.
Yes.
I want everybody to be understanding that your success, your work, your value, and your worth are important. So
Absolutely.
today is the day to begin. Make sure you guys check out Tiara Speaks, honey.
Come on.
She got
Yes.
that to say. And you guys, this is what social media is about. Connections, connections, connections. What she say? I say I want one more. What she say? I can speak to that. So make sure that we are connecting. Make sure that we are being real intentional on the things that you are doing in your life. Because like I said, if 2020 ain't taught us nothing, it needed to teach us that it's not guaranteed. So live to the fullest and live life on your terms. It's the best decision I have ever made.
I know that's right.
So thanks, Tiara.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Have a good one. Bye, guys.
Bye.